is Iv Amenti, and I am an artist here in the city of Dallas. I'm here to talk about Faylibration taking place June 14th through the 16th at the Windspear Opera House, celebrating the life of Fela Kuti. What drew me to Fela was his ability to bridge the world of music and activism and also cultural identity all together. I think that his style of music, Afrobeat, really brought a really beautiful expression to the world of music, and so yeah. The fact that he was able to, through music, translate the needs of the Nigerian people who were experiencing heavy colonialism at the time, that he was able to really, speak to the needs of Nigerian people knowing themselves. One of the beautiful things about his story was that he came to America to find his own identity as an African man. He had never heard of the Black Power movement until he came to America. And so what we did here in America helped to inform his music, and it helped to shape what we know as Afrobeat today. Well, for me, art without purpose is not art at all. We definitely, as artists, have to be mindful of the things that we put out into the world, because the artists have the ability to assemble people into a singular space and really give a singular message. So that's all social engineering. So for me, my hand in that is just to make sure that I am providing works that really get people to thinking, that really get people activated around things that can make their communities better, and that can make the world a better place in general. I look for really just people who are willing to talk. You will be really surprised at what sparks a story to actually go for me to put it on stage. I believe it's important that as an art maker, really going into the community and connecting with people in the community and letting them know that my goal is to really bring voice to the communities. And so I've really prided myself on that being the recipe for engagement and creating like community works in that way. I've always been an artist. When I was a little girl, my mother said that, she would take me out around the city and everyone would always be like, she needs to be in commercials. So I really don't know myself outside of being an artist. I think that for whatever reason, I was born with the spirit that also felt like I had to have leadership in some kind of way. And so even from the time of being a very young girl, I would still want to do things that really exemplified leadership, that exemplified some positive stroke of humanity. And so for me, art is my life. I do not know life without it. Well, again, art without purpose, what are we doing? When I came to Dallas, one of the things that was available to me was like the AmeriCorps program, which is like the Domestic Peace Corps. And through working with the AmeriCorps program, I learned community engagement. That was the first time that I had actually gone into a community and engaged a community. From there, I just really decided that I needed to stay close to communities and produce work that can be brought into urban spaces where people don't necessarily have to travel super far in order to get good art. And so that's kind of been my MO, making sure that the people that I see on a daily basis in the different communities I work in. I work right here up the street at St. Philip's School and Community Center. urban dense. We are there. So making sure that in the things that I am learning from the communities that I'm in, that I tell those stories and make sure that they're represented on the artistic landscape. Anything besides visual art. Dance, act, sing, direct, all of that. You will see all of these things at Fay Libration. I have some really beautiful choreography that I have engaged with also Michelle Gibson and Mikoyan Whitley, who are also dancers in the city. I've written the show. My musical director is Frank Mocha, who is also the percussionist for Erykah Badu. Just got a really great assembly of people, and this is kind of like my magnum opus. I've written several plays here in the city, but like this is where you get to see all of my loves like come together. From the dance, not a whole lot of acting, but there is some theatrical elements in it, and also directing. So I'm excited about it. The Elevator Project is sponsored by AT&T Performing Arts Center, and it is an opportunity for artists such as myself, local artists, to be able to use AT&T's campus for our productions. It gives you an opportunity to have like a Broadway feel, like right here in the city. And so, being a part of this project, being a part of this particular class of people in the Elevator Project has been a real honor. The whole premise was to elevate artists, right? Elevator Project. So I really do feel very elevated through this process. It really has sharpened my steel really well. I say Office of Cultural Affairs. Look up the website, just Google it, the Office of Cultural Affairs. For any artist, that is your best friend. And not just thinking in terms of dance or thinking in terms of performance art. There's, opportunity for visual artists, for writers, all of those things. Just look for those type of funding opportunities, and that's what I do. I just make sure to stay connected to the website and look for those funding opportunities and write and dream, write and dream and put them together and see what you get. Okay, so I was a part of several artists and art makers and policy makers in the city who were responsible for coming together and really kind of putting out there what the current state of the arts is in Dallas and what we dream it to be. It was about a year-long process, maybe a little bit longer, and the idea was to put together a plan that would be implemented over, the next 10, 15 years that really gets Dallas to the place of equitable arts for all people in the city. And so it was a really great opportunity to be involved in that and to have voice. And then also, like you said before, in terms of representing communities, because I came with their needs in my mind and articulated that in some of those sessions that I was in. Dallas do that? Ooh, by opening doors. Just open doors, give funding. And when we think of funding for artists, really think about, for an artist, we want to be able to live just like a doctor does, or, any other person. We want to just be able to specifically do our art. We don't want to have to, part-time do our art. So when we start thinking about funding, we have to think about a living wage for artists to have so that they can actively work in the fields that they have gone, and got years of training for. They should just be able to live like that. And there are far too many artists that do not get that opportunity. So to me, really creating equity and living wages for artists, having that on the forefront of our minds is a beginning step. But then also, making sure those doors are open for all cultures to be equally represented. nonprofit that is really focused on, you know, the wellness of the entire community. Our main staple is the Coming of Age Rites of Passage program, which has been around for about 15 years, also funded through the Office of Cultural Affairs. And it's really about, you know, training our children for adulthood. And so that's our main staple. But we also do things like, you know, grown black and married parties for, you know, married couples. We have a women's group where we talk about real health issues and the things that we experience as women. So we really try to take a broad look at the community and make sure to have services for everyone. So I am on, you know, all those good social media things. Facebook, Iv Amenti. Don't try to do EVE. Amenti is IV Amenti. On Instagram, that is IV, the original woman. You can inbox me, ask me any kind of question, and I am more than happy to point people in the right direction. One of the things that I have coined myself as is a master collaborator, right? I really believe in collaboration. I believe in sending people in the directions that they need to go for success. So hit me up. Come to the show June 14th through the 16th at the Windspear Opera House. We are celebrating Fela Kuti. We are celebrating Afrobeat. We are going to have such a lovely time. So I hope to see y'all there.